I was tagged in this post on Facebook, and I honestly did not know who this man was. I had no idea who he was until I got a chance to read what he said. Now, I was familiar with who he was talking about. Now, I have not done a commentary about the whole Meghan Markle, Prince Harry thing, with them leaving the parliament, the monarchy, to live their own lives outside of that. And honestly, I really don't care. Let them do their thing. If they want to do that, that's on them. That's their lives to leave. So I was tagged in this post, and it was actually on Facebook. And Nicole's View, she actually posted it with somebody who we're mutual friends with on there, tagged me in the post. And when I read it, I was like, I'm not surprised this person said this, but it puts something else into perspective that I've been trying to tell a lot of people, especially my subscribers, when it comes to a certain topic. But we'll get into it when I read this article. So this man's name is David Daubenmire, and they say he's a Christian preacher, quote unquote. But when you think about it, when they say Christian and everything like that, and you find out what he's going to say, it lines right up with something that sounds like it came out of the Klan. It says, Dave Daubenmire is a rabid right-wing Christian who is so dead set against interracial marriage that when Prince Harry married Meghan Markle, he claimed the marriage was a psyop that was meant to promote the blending of the races. Daubenmire is vehemently against interracial marriage because he believes it has weakened the U.S. right-wing watch reports. It's already sounding like a Klan's pamphlet right now. Today, interracial marriage would be considered honorable, when 40 years ago, it would have been considered a disgrace, he claimed in 2017. Now, is it a disgrace or is it honorable? Has the mixing of culture been good for America or has it been bad? Is America stronger today than we were 40 years ago, or are we weaker today? And could it be we are weaker today because multiculturalism is spiritual AIDS? Now, listen to what he said. He said multiculturalism is spiritual AIDS, and he's talking about AIDS as in the disease, the acute immunodeficiency syndrome. That's what he's talking about. That's what he's compared. He compared multiculturalism to quote unquote AIDS. I just thought I should reiterate that. And it has brought an infection into what once was a great Christian American culture. Now, when you think about AIDS, one thing that a lot of people tend to do is shift it one way. And we know which direction that is. So when he said that, we know who he was talking about. And for Meghan Markle, we know what side of her he was talking about, who he was speaking to. Yesterday on his Pass the Salt Live. Now that's the name of his show. And I can only imagine that when he says pass the salt, is not to season his already bland food. Daubenmire discussed the recent news that Harry and Meghan were stepping back from their positions in the royal family and singled out Markle for having infiltrated and poisoned royal bloodlines. How is the royal bloodline of the crown being poisoned, he asked. Is there something special about this commoner who was married into the royalty? Well, of course, according to Daubenmire's way of thinking. She's half black, he said. When Harry and Meghan step back, what is it going to be at the heart of why she did it? What are they going to say? Come on, wake up here. What are they going to say? Racism. She never felt comfortable. She felt like she was below everybody else. Then he discussed the effects the royal family has had on Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture. The royal family is the seat of the Christianity, Daubenmire added. We cannot deny the impact the royal family has had on the WASP culture. The white Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture is a result of what happened within the crown, and the crown has now for the first time been infiltrated with a bloodline. Oh my goodness, that sounds racist, doesn't it? Don't miss what's going on, he said. This infiltrator comes in proud of her infiltration, proud of her multiculturalism, and what is that demon doing? Destroying and upsetting everything, every tradition in that royal family. So the reason why I pointed this out is because here you have this extreme right-wing racist guy who, I don't care if he says he's a Christian or not, most of them claim to be Christian, who says that Meghan Markle has infiltrated the royal bloodline because she's half black, and now tainted and poisoned the bloodline because now they have a child together, and it has basically interrupted the lily white royal bloodline, which has pretty much been all white as far as we know. And I say as far as we know because it probably is some tainted stuff going on there, but they'll like to cover that up. But in recent history, we're just going to go with Meghan Markle. Now, I have a lot of people who say that they don't consider people who are mixed or biracial to be black. Here you have this white guy here, this extreme right-wing guy who sees it for what it is, at least through his lens and through his eyes. He doesn't care that Meghan Markle is half black. She's not, or that she's not fully black. The fact that this woman has a black parent who is her mother is all that he saw. He doesn't care that she has a white father. All he knows is that she's half black, quote unquote. She did fix herself up to look less black. Like if you look at pictures of Meghan Markle before her nose job, because she did have a nose job, you will definitely see her more ethnic features when she was younger. Same with Amber Thorne. She basically did the same exact thing. You will see them. And now, even though she's with Prince Harry now, who is pretty much completely palm colored, and they had a child, the bloodline from her mother still carries on through her and thus transfers into that child. Now, of course, it gets tainted a little bit more because Meghan is quote unquote mixed herself. Opposed to if she said was to end up with another black man, then it will basically start to regenerate itself in a way, if you get what I mean. And he's upset about that. But see, here's the thing. He's not the only person that feels this way. There are plenty of others who feel just as he does. Like I said, it doesn't matter that Meghan is quote unquote half black. It's the fact that she still has black in her. And that's what his issue is. He's mad that the royal family, for him, he probably thinks the royal family was the end all be all as far as keeping the bloodline one way. He probably didn't expect to see in his lifetime that it would be quote unquote poisoned or tainted. And he's upset about that. All I could do is just sit back and just simply laugh at the whole thing right now because he feels like he's losing something. And here's the thing. Notice he's talking about America a lot in this thing right here. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's child, their son Archie, wasn't even born in America. As a matter of fact, when they got married, it wasn't even here in America. It was over in London. They got married in London, and they had him in London. So their son is just much as a Brit than anything else. He's really not. You can't say he's American born. The only one that's American born is Meghan Markle. But he doesn't see it that way. That's why I thought this whole thing was just funny to me. I'm sure if you dig back into his timeline, he might find something there too. If y'all remember, it was I forgot what show it was when Shahrazad Ali was on there with that right wing racist guy, and they did his DNA. They found like he had like 12% African blood in him. And she was up there cracking up at this man. Imagine if we had YouTube back then and I was doing YouTube. That would have been a Petty Pendergrass production waiting to happen. But that's funny. And like I said, what makes this thing so interesting is his choice of words. He said that she infiltrated and poisoned the royal bloodline by virtue of being half black. Those were his words. I would like to know what y'all think about this down in the comments. I thought it was kind of funny to me. I thought it was just like, at this point, all you can do is just laugh at their goofiness right now. Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to hold on to some kind of symbolism that literally projects nothing but pure whiteness. And this is why they hate diversity. They hate multiculturalism and everything like that. When they say make America great again, They're talking about what this guy's talking about right here. And they know they cannot get there in a diverse society. But in a way, it's pretty much their fault why this society is so diverse. So they would have no one else to blame but themselves. But that whole lack of accountability thing always comes into play. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Have your notifications turned on, and I will talk to you in the next one.